All right, everyone. Hello, Holly King. Welcome to my podcast. This is Wild Kingdom Wellness. We will talk about everything well in this podcast. We will explore topics that include subject matters like spirituality, physical, mental, emotional health, and also the things you see going on in the world around you. So if you are ready to go on this Wild Kingdom Wellness ride with me, then make sure that you subscribe to this podcast. You also share this particular podcast and more with others. I will be exploring the realms that people are afraid to go into, and you will not want to miss these episodes. So, Holly King, Wild Kingdom Wellness, welcome to my journey. Live, my name is Holly King. I am the host of Wild Kingdom Wellness, where we talk about all things well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start out with the day today. The date. It's always real important to know where you are in time and space. So, today is Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. It is May the 20th, 2026. The color of the day today, if you're interested in working with color therapy, the color of the day today is white. And then I follow astrology first before I really do much of anything other than have a cup of coffee. And so today, for our people who follow the moon cycles, the sun, all that good stuff, the moon is void of course until about 9:27 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the moon will go into the sign of Leo, at 10:48 p.m. today. Today, ladies and gentlemen, into the sign of Gemini around 8:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, for those of you people who are Tauruses, again, I'm talking astrology for just a minute, okay? Then we're going to talk about politics because it's fun. But for those of you all that had your birthday in the last 30 days, you are Tauruses. Happy birthday. We are now leaving your sun sign of Taurus and we're going into the sun sign of Gemini. So if you don't know what that means, make sure you like and subscribe to these channels, Wild Kingdom Wellness, because I do talk a lot about like horoscope daily astrology, and it's fun. But as an astrologer and as somebody who studies, high levels of astrology, it's not just about your Western astrology system. There is so much more to understanding human spiritual evolution. And again, I get off on talking about that stuff. So if you are in any way, shape, or form interested in the things that I see going on in the world around me, so make sure you like and subscribe. Now, I do have the chat box on, so you guys can talk to each other. If I catch your comment, I might say something to you about your comment, but I'm also streaming this over to my Facebook page, and I'm streaming this over to, or shall I say, this will be updated to my Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff. I'm new to podcasting as a whole. I'm very comfortable with doing live videos. That doesn't bother me anymore. But I'm also very new to figuring out technology and how to best reach the biggest audience that I can when I'm doing these live stream audios and videos. So it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. I'm just a girl with a camera and a microphone and some headsets and a whole lot of hella lot of books, okay? And a lot of curiosity, I guess you could say. So YouTube, looks like 10 of you are watching. Say good morning, say hi in the chat. And then we've got our TikTokers right here. Love it. Invite Monkey86 to join as a guest. Later, I might start inviting people to talk on TikTok, so make sure you're hanging out with me on TikTok. So, but good morning, everybody on the talk. I hope you're well. All right, so what do we want to talk about today? OMG, guys. I'm going to talk to you about my personal experience when it comes to politics and policy in the state of Kentucky. Okay, so let's just get it out there that I am in Kentucky. I'm a Kentucky native. I'm a Kentucky resident. You will hear me talk in a twang from time to time. But just because I live in the state of Kentucky and I got a twang doesn't mean that I am an uneducated woman. Okay, because I will definitely be the first one to say if I made a mistake when it comes to politics, policy, personal opinions, the PPP of the world. If I make a mistake in my opinions or my belief systems, or should I say, if there is somebody out there that actually disagrees with me when it comes to, politics, religion, healthcare, personal preferences, ritual work, all the things, y'all. I am the all the things girl. I am the Jane of all trades and the master of a few. Okay, I got a few masteries under my belt, but y'all, I just love to glean information. Who on here doesn't like to do a good research project, right? And you know what I have found out over the course of the last few years, being on social media, on multiple platforms. Hold, please. I'm having coffee with y'all, by the way. So hold on. And if you're on the visual, this is one of my beloved little coffee cups. Thing 1 and thing 2 from Dr. Seuss. Okay. Did y'all know there was controversy behind Dr. Seuss books and it got all twisted a few years ago? Do y'all remember that scandal? How Dr. Seuss got thrown under the bus because his books were racist? And I laughed and I said, well, I don't know. Are they? But when we love one person loves something, let's talk about that. When one person loves something, another person doesn't love it. And so depending on your interpretation of what you think somebody might have said, right? Perception versus your reality, y'all, everybody's mad at everybody at this point. And if you got mad at Dr. Seuss 10 years ago, 5 years ago, however long it was when we had that scandal with all of his books, y'all, we are missing a key component when it comes to actually being kind to one another. You remember the old video VHS tapes, y'all? Be kind, rewind. Well, that's kind of where I feel like we're at in our world right now. And after all of these political elections that I've experienced in the state of Kentucky in the last 24 hours, 12 hours, really, since I woke up, y'all, we got to start being nicer to each other. That's the number one rule, okay? So, I do get a little bit opinionated sometimes on my podcast. So I want to throw the disclaimer out there to you on these videos to say, I'm not a doctor. I do not belong to the American Medical Association, okay? I'm a body worker. I'm a licensed body worker, and I have an excessive amount of continuing education when it comes to mind, body, spiritual connection. Okay, so I work with the human body, the connective tissue, stress, anxiety, pain, all the adjacent things that your doctor can't figure out when you're in pain, when you're hurting. That's kind of my role, to help assist as a body worker and as an individual, as a Reiki master. I have plenty of experience with Reiki. So all the things, y'all. Yoga teacher. I do it all. I've done it all. I literally have so many t-shirts telling y'all what I do. And I feel like at this point in my life, either no one's listening to me or everybody's watching me. And it's funny because if I post, let's say I post a selfie on Facebook, right? Facebook has now changed. Have y'all caught this if you're on Facebook? The algorithm now is interesting. It's changed to where if you post a selfie on Facebook, so let's say I'm at the gym and I'm like, I want to show people that I am now going to start working out so I can get rid of this grandma pudge here. All of this, y'all, is no-bake cookies, by the way. So this is my stress belly, and y'all going to help me watch it go away, okay? Because I am tired of being fat, and all the while I am a certified health and fitness coach. All this is going to go down. And you know why? Because I'm going to be responsible for the fact that we're going to start talking about health, wellness, mind, body, spirit, stress, hormones, all this stuff here on Wild Kingdom Wellness. So again, like and subscribe. But I love hanging out with people in the morning while I'm having my coffee and just giving myself permission to, I guess it's ranting. I mean, I hate to use the word rant because it just seems so nasty. You know, it's like, why are you ranting all the time? Well, because, ladies and gentlemen, I feel as if the topics and the conversations that I have with the people in my life every day, all day long, you know, friends, family, co-workers, you know, supervisors, you know, oh my God, you all, politics has become one of the number one misunderstood, problematic conversations that we are facing right now in the United States of America. Can I get an amen or a high five or anything, y'all? Can I just get a thumbs up, thumbs down? You don't agree with me? That's fine. I got no problem with that. You can disagree with me on my political, spiritual, and personal views all you want. You're not gonna make me mad. You not. I mean, even if you make me mad, like you would have to slander me and call me names before I block you at this point. Okay, so now if you call me names on my Facebook, like I'm talking bad names, like I don't have a problem with blocking you. I have control over my social media feeds as a person. Okay, so we want to use social media responsibly. Do we not? Do we not? And so, first of all, I'm not going to apologize for when I get a little worked up, when I see things going on in the world around me, and I start asking questions of my politicians, okay, whether it's on the district level, whether it's on the national level, the global level, like, who the hell's holding these people accountable, okay? Because what I'm noticing going on in the world around me is the accountability with people who are running our government has been thrown out the window. The accountability, the ethical accountability of the politicians that I see, money prevents accountability. JRHO42882. I love how they have numbers on here. Word. Okay. Hi. Make sure you like and subscribe. Good morning. I know, JRH, I don't want to upset people. I don't want to make them mad, you know, but at the same time, I'm recognizing that if you're an adult, and especially if you're an X generation, like I am, you know, you finally get to the point where you're like, am I living in the matrix for real? Like, and the answer to that is yes. You know, we are living in some type of geofencing matrix. You know, there's so much I want to tell you all. There's so much I want to share with you all. And then I want to be able to like fact check myself on the back end, because all I know is that people have no idea what to believe anymore. And if you agree with that, again, make sure you like and subscribe. So back to my own city, okay? And I'm not going to divulge my city, but those of you all that are in my city, you'll figure it out. Like, and if you're not in my city, you're probably still going to figure it out. Again, you know, I have no shame as a Kentucky woman. Like at this point, I'm like, let's go. Let's go, you all. All right, so Thomas Massie currently holds the Republican congressional seat, a Republican congressional seat in Congress as a Republican representative for the state of Kentucky. Okay. And how I understand, I've been doing a little research, y'all, for those of you all listening via Apple or Spotify. I bought myself some books on politics to understand how the system works. So I highly recommend, if you are middle-aged, okay, if you're middle-aged, you're a grandma, you got a pooch like me, because I do. Y'all can call me Granny for short. I really, it doesn't bother me. If you don't know nothing about politics at all, and you like Amazon, you like books, you're a collector of books like me, I want you to go grab you a book on politics for dummies. Now I got two because I'm actually going to start studying like advocacy policy. I'm going to start studying politics, you know. And as a matter of fact, y'all, I might be studying politics as a hobby. Just for fun, just for shits and giggles, okay? Because why? Because have you looked at the cost of education lately? I found out the other day, I literally have been looking into going back to college to get a bachelor's in political science. And by the way, the dummies have not sponsored me yet when it comes to like these videos. So, but maybe we'll change that later. So, I've been so aggravated and frustrated about the political system for so long. And when I say so long, I'm going to put a time span on that of about 10 years for sure, like a decade. Okay. But I've also been really upset with politics since I kind of understood what politics was. Round about the time Ronald Reagan took office, I started paying attention to, you know, who was the president, who was the vice president, but that's really all I knew. Like, I didn't have any other understanding of how politics worked from a civilian level. I didn't know. Like, I was like, okay, it's the president. And all I really looked at was, and again, we're going to say 10 years ago, give or take, okay? All this is allegedly, by the way. Let's see, Farpoint Station, is it weird being in your later 70s and see late 70s? I was born in the 70s, but I'm definitely not in my 70s. So anyway, I hope I look this good in my 70s. Oh my God, for real. That's the goal, is to like not age anymore, but you know, be careful what you put in your body, okay? So, but yeah, I'm trying not to age anymore. But yeah, what's going on? Okay, so, oh, hold on. Is it weird being in your late 70s? That's funny. Honey, boo. I was born in the 70s, okay? But anyway, yeah, I'm in my late 70s. Psych. But y'all, seriously, like, I'm starting to understand as a middle-aged woman, not in my late 70s, by the way, you better know who your district council is. Have you ever, if you have a job, if you work, if you have a family, if you are somebody who cares about your garbage being picked up in the morning, once a week, twice a week, if you care about, policy, procedure, somebody out there filling the potholes so your car doesn't get engulfed into the ground, right? If you're somebody that is paying your taxes, you get a W-2 paycheck, and you look at how much money is coming out of your paycheck, and you go, well, what am I getting back in return? What you're getting back in return right now, my beautiful American tax-paying citizens, is a ballroom. You're getting a ballroom. Aren't you excited? Will you be invited to the party? Highly doubt it, but I don't know. Maybe. We might get invited to the ballroom, right? But y'all, are you paying attention to where your federal, state, local, and sublocal tax money is going? Do you know? Do you know where your federal, state, local tax money is going? Do you know where your Medicaid and Medicare, your FICA? Look at your paycheck. What's a FICA? FICA. Basically, it's Medicaid, Medicare, right? That's coming out of your paycheck to pay for people who can't afford to pay for health care on their own, or they end up on disability. Okay, so you got your FICA, FICA. And yes, I used to help people run payroll in my past life, when I was in my, teens. Kidding. Listen, do you know where your money's going? Okay, now you got, and I haven't even talked about all of them. Then after your FICA comes out of your W-2 paycheck, you got your Social Security. Okay, now on average, if you work a job in America, on average, you're probably getting 25 to 35% of your paycheck deducted for taxes. Okay. Now, I'm not a CPA. I'm not an accountant. Again, I just look at my paycheck and go, holy shit. Okay. Now, what am I getting for this again? So, you got to be looking at your money, right? It's like the number one principle if you are a tax-paying citizen to just know how much money is coming out of your check and then know where it's going. Okay? People we don't pay attention. You know why? Because we're slaves to the system. And yes, I said slaves. We're slaves to the system. And then all of a sudden you're like, you know, I can't deal with this anymore. And so what happens then is you work harder for less. Your grocery bill goes up. Your gas prices go up. You get more and more exhausted as a working class citizen, right? Right? Thumbs up. Where we at? Rick in Texas 61 says, stop it. I know. You stop it. Taxpayers are footing a huge portion of the bill. Yes, I know. I love you guys. Federal minimum wage stays stagnant for 20 years. I know, Farpoint Station. This is the issue that I'm frustrated with as a citizen. I'm nobody special. Listen, y'all. I have a lot of experience in a lot of different things, and at my age, being in my almost 70s, I'm like, if I sit here and be quiet about everything I see going on in the world around me and don't put out the content to say, is anybody else seeing the same thing as I am? Y'all, I'm gonna go boo boo crazy. I'm gonna go boo boo crazy. Not really. You know, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with acting like I don't have personal responsibility for understanding how the system works, or that I don't have personal responsibility to speak up as an everyday American, you know, whitish woman. And I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So that's why you all will want to like and subscribe, because I do get on here quite often and do my live videos and stream them to 3 different platforms. And my producer fussed at me because she's like, we need to get you some more content out of there, girl. What are you doing? So she's like, you need to be more consistent with your message. And I was like, yes, ma'am. So anyway, thank you to my producer, Brooke. Here we are. So you got to understand the system. Now, I looked, back to my statement, I have looked for 2 weeks, y'all, 2 weeks. I have been looking into going back to school, college, and getting a bachelor's in political science. But guess what? It was brought to my attention that effective July 1st, 2026, the studentaid.gov, which is where you get your government student loans from, so you can go to college, whether you're 18 or 81, you know, because, you know, I would love to go to college. But then it was brought to my attention that not only are the interest rates that the government puts on your student loan are increasing. So y'all listening? Again, go fact check me when things progress. I'll be able to start dropping links for you all to like, oh, right now I'm just talking. But student loans, the interest on student loans, boys and girls, is going up. It's going up like, I forget what it was. I asked my listening device the other day to be specific. But basically, it's going up several points. You know, I think it was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna say around 0.5%. It wasn't 1%, but it's going up. Why? You tell me why studentaid.gov, the federal student loans, are gonna have an increase in their interest rate. So all you moms and dads about to send your boys and girls off to the universities, and you have student loans, like you have FAFSA, you have the Parent Plus loan, you know what? You're gonna pay a larger interest rate starting July 1st, 2026 than you did before. And they passed a clause, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm 99.9999999% sure this is true. Again, allegedly, look it up. They are putting inside of the student loan clause that you cannot do forgiveness for up to 30 years. Okay? And what forgiveness is when it comes to student loans, to my understanding, is that you end up like, there's a special cause that your student loan would be forgiven. Maybe you're working a not-for-profit. Again, I got to do some homework on some of this because I was like, wait a minute, why am I going to take a $20,000 student loan to get a bachelor's of political science with a university in my local area when they just want more money out of me? And I'm pretty good at self-studying. I was like, well, I'll just talk about politics. I'll just talk about it. I don't have to be a bachelor's of anything at this point in my life, because my research as a human being and as an individual when it comes to mind, body, spirit, politics, community, networking, business association, lobbying, God, you all, forgive me for saying God, you all, do you even know what lobbying is? I didn't. I mean, I did, but these primaries opened my eyes, especially again with what has happened to Thomas Massie in Kentucky. Now, 90% of the people that I have spoken to in my city wanted Thomas Massie to win. He did not, and the reason he did not win, allegedly, 99.999% fact checked, is that the lobbying money against him started months ago. Go watch his concession speech from last night. So if you're in Kentucky, please go watch Thomas Massie's concession speech. If you are on Facebook with me, I posted it. So you can just open up the YouTube link, okay? The local channel in his area, the W, whatever it was, DRB is not it, but they were televising Thomas Massie's concession speech. It's like 14 minutes long. I'm almost done with it. And I'm like, you know what I see about to happen, y'all? And again, I'm just going to do a astrological prediction that may or may not come true. I'm just pulling out, spiritual discernment. There's a good chance that even though Thomas Massie did not win the election, because it was paid for by Israel, Miriam Adelson, you try to squish our country. Anyway, no. I'm going to make y'all laugh. But yeah, billions, was it billions or millions? B or M? A whole hell of a lot of money was spent throwing him out of his Congress seat, okay, by people who support this war that's happening right now. Okay. So again, just do a little digging, do a little dancing, fact check. But you know what I think's gonna happen? Again, this is just a silly little girl playing in the astrology of the world because it's fun. I think he's gonna surpass the seat that he had and end up in the executive branch of government. You're like, there's no way Donald Trump's gonna let him up there with him while he's building the ballroom. So, but y'all, listen. I propose that we fire Kash Patel first, and we let Thomas Massie become the director of the FBI. If Donald Trump has any moral values inside of him, left inside of him at all whatsoever, if he is not 100% demonically possessed by the evangelicals sitting up in his ear, and I used to be an evangelical, so yeah, tit for tat. If we don't get this church out of the state, which I thought was illegal. That's my next project, is to identify whether or not all of this propaganda about religion is actually legal when it comes to the decisions that the executive branch of our government are making. So what I'm getting at is the lobbying, the money is coming from Israel, the state of Israel, not my Jewish friends. Okay? There's a difference between an American Jewish person and an Israeli war pig. Okay? Again, I'm for everybody's religion. Okay? All of them. I think this war is just despicable. It's despicable. You know why? Because I was born right after Vietnam, and I still see the veterans of the United States of America who served in Vietnam sitting on my street corner begging for bread. Uh-oh. We're going to start filming this summer. We're going to start filming, and we might just start interviewing some of the regular panhandlers that are, I don't know, an eighth of a mile from my house. An eighth of a mile. I'm like, this is going to be one of those things where I'm like, we're going to know their names. Because you know what? The mayor ain't getting them off the street. And we had our mayor race yesterday. And guess what? I voted against him. So I'm not hiding my politics at all. And I hope he sees it. And I love him as a person. But we got a problem. We have a huge problem in our area, in our city, in our state. And what the problem is that any money that gets distributed to these campaigns is supposed to be registered. Let's see who's watching. User Idaho guy. Hi, Idaho guy. Hi. Are they building data centers in your area? Oh God, I hope not. I have a solution for that, by the way, but we'll get back to it. I do have a solution to the data centers, but we'll see. But anyway, I'm like, all that Israeli money, y'all, kicked Thomas Massie out. And Ed Galleran, I was sitting there looking at both their pictures the other day on the TV, and I'm like, the aura. I read people's aura for a living. I'm like, can you not see the difference in the genuineness between Thomas Massie's smile and Ed Galleran? Not to mention Andy Barr, who is going to be running up against Charles Booker. So I will definitely have me some Booker signs up in my yard. I'm going to buy me a Charles Booker t-shirt. And y'all, Charles Booker, if you're in Kentucky, is running for Mitch McConnell's seat. So if you're not in Kentucky, you probably still heard about Mitch McConnell, okay? Because he's been in his senator seat since, I believe, before I was born. If not, I'm what, 30, 40 years? I'll fact check that later, y'all. But I'm like, Do we really want war pigs running our country? Do we? Do you want war pigs running your country? That's what's running your country, okay? And the people see it. We are absolutely, our third eye is opened up so wide that it's like, oh, now we understand why it is so important to vote in the primaries. Now I'm fussing, because I had not done that in the past. All I ever cared about was the presidential race and whether or not it was a Democrat or a Republican who won so that the country would be saved. We have yet to see either side actually do much saving. Now, have we? Okay. They do a lot of spending. Both sides. Y'all, both sides. Democrats spend money. Republicans spend money. The question is, where are they spending their money? And then the question is, where are they getting their money? Huh? The problem I have with all of this, as just a little nobody, okay? I'm a nobody. Jimmitt would make it worse, man. JMIT. Who's JMIT? HR04288. Unions also create higher inflation, so when wages increase, the price is passed off to the consumer. Possibly. That's something else I'm about to look into is union status, because I see laborers in my city who are like, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. We got to look at the policy. Like if we start to I'm not a socialist, y'all. I'm I'm just a girl. Listen, I'm just a unified. I am a political unicorn at this point. I'm gonna find me a unicorn head and we're gonna wear it, and I am your political unicorn. Okay. Because I'm gonna look at both sides for you all as best as I can. And that's why I don't need to go to school. I just need to talk to you all about what your opinion is so that I can understand what the people think. You know, I have learned to use social media long enough to go, I can tell if it's a bot, if it's AI, I can tell where the algorithm is going. And again, if people who don't know me personally don't agree with me and they comment and they call me, bad names, then I'm just, you know what, that means I'm doing something. Just like Thomas Massie said last night in his concession speech. He said to the people, he said, well, yesterday there wasn't, to his knowledge, any action going on in the Strait of Hormuz, the war. Basically, he was like, you know why? Because Pete Hegseth, can't say his last name right. I'm not making fun of him. But good old Petey, the Secretary of the Department of War, which, why the fuck? What does Donald Trump think he's doing? Let's just change the name of everything and confuse everybody and piss them off more. Like, really? Can we just say the Department of Defense? I hope we go back to that title, because America's here to defend people, not to annihilate them. That's not why we were built. It's not. Y'all, we're going to have our 250th anniversary. The people don't want all this. And the few people who are kind of redneckish, no offense, y'all, who are like, kill them all, yeah. Oh, God. Do y'all not understand? Do y'all not understand what happens when you have the type of karmatic return when it comes to being an annihilist? Okay? I'm not an annihilist. I don't want to annihilate nobody. Okay? Will I defend myself if somebody comes knocking up on my door and says, I'm going to come in and I'm going to hurt you? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Because I got 8,000 eyeballs watching every corner of my house at all times. Multiple levels of security in my little ghetto home. Okay? So, and, my ex-husband was a Marine. Y'all forget that? Y'all forget that? No, he's like, hey, honey, let me get you this revolver and let me take you out shooting. And you need to understand that one day what's happening now is going to happen. I still wish I was married to him just for the intel. So if he ever sees this, listen, dude. First of all, I totally forgive you. Like, I hope you're happy. To my ex-husband, Marine, I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy. I'm happy because you know what? I wouldn't be right here talking to y'all about my experience had I not had the experience. But yeah, when you're married to an active duty Marine that served in Iraq and did a couple tours, I think, and then he brings home his memorabilia, and he's like, you know what? That was nasty. I should have never been over there. Something like that. I'm like, oh, honey, I'm sorry you had to go through that. Like, PTSD is fucking real. And the families that have to deal with the military that comes home and has fucking PTSD gives you PTSD. Let me say that again. If you are the spouse or the child of an active duty veteran who served in active war, and your mommy, daddy, grandma, brother, sister, aunt, auntie, uncle has PTSD, please be patient with them, okay? Because transference and countertransference is real. So we'll talk about that another day. But I'm sick of it, y'all. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all the lies the government tells us just to go fucking blow somebody up off the planet. Why? Stop it, right? Bob Newhart, he's like, just stop it. Just stop it. So, although I would love to be somebody that talks about roses and cherries and apples and grapes and planting flowers and, how long a petunia will live in your dry ass land. Like, I would love to be that person that all I talk about is happy-go-lucky stuff. But that's not who I am. And that's not who I have become. I'm somebody that says we're going to get to the root of the cause of the issue. And then at some point, hopefully, we, the people, will be able to bring democracy back to America without slicing and dicing each other with the proverbial knife. Okay? Laura Loomer, she's terrible. She's a terrible person. Laura Loomer is so terrible that, she needs to be called out. All these war pigs need to be called out, And if I disappear, well, I thoroughly believe in reincarnation. And I am the witches that you could not fucking burn. Okay? Blink, blink. You're not messing with my soul. You're not messing with my soul. You're not messing up my karma. You're not messing up, my next evolution. TikTok just restricted me. They're like, we're stalling you for 10 minutes. I wish y'all could have seen the screen pop up on YouTube. Yeah, TikTok's like, you are restricted from a live for 10 minutes. You know why, YouTube? Because guess who's running TikTok? The IDF. On and on and on and on. Anyway, unions. Okay. They done made me mad. They done stopped my stream, y'all. That's okay. It just shows me how the game works. I don't care. So anyway, know the truth when it comes to policy. Okay. Know the truth. Do your homework. Do your fact finding. And if you're somebody that's just like so gung-ho on whether or not you want to vote Republican or Democrat because you can't see the forest for the trees, they already took the R&D off of your local ballot. So I asked somebody the other day, I was like, who authorized that? Who said to take R&D off the ballot? I don't know, but I'm going to find out who signed off on that. It was alleged to me that the Republicans, of which I'm a registered Republican, I've told y'all that 1,000 times, but was it the Republicans that took the R&D? Like, who authorized that locally? I'm going to find out. My poor TikTok's on pause. They're like, you are restricted for content for 10 minutes. Get the fuck out of my face. Freedom of speech is on the line. Damn it. So I will talk to y'all as long as I can, but I'm not apologizing for truth. I'm just not going to do it. So, que sera, come what may. When you get ready to figure out who you're going to vote for in Kentucky for this November election, or if you're in my city, if you don't know what's going on, just make sure you follow this podcast. You follow me on Facebook. Okay. I'm gonna put, for you Facebookers out there, I'm running under an alias. We're going to put my name back. So, because I'm not hiding. I'm not hiding from the people who don't like what I have to say. What I am asking of them is to listen. Take a listen to what the truth is about what our country is turning into. And ask yourself, is this the world you want to leave your grandchildren? Okay. Because I have concerns. But I also know when I look at astrology, y'all, and I'm like, this too shall pass. I want y'all to look real quick before I hang up, because I got stuff to do. Back in April, around the 17th, remember all that energy was in Aries? Do y'all remember me showing y'all that? Like, all this stuff was all smushed together. The god of war, Aries, Mars, conflict. And so the war started, right? If I were to be able to reverse this and back it up to April, February, March, April, all of this Aries energy was like concentrated in one spot. So this is today's natal chart. Now we're moving into Gemini stuff, okay? Meaning political conversations. can be had now, you know. And with Gemini, it's still going to be an angel demon act. Like, it's like, I don't know what to believe. This one over here saying this, and this one over here saying that, and I don't know what to believe. Seek out information. Okay. Like, if you think one thing's true when it comes to politics, I want you, first of all, get off of Fox News. Off. Fox News. Off. Off. You're going to get better truth now with MSNBC and CNN than you are Fox News. Because it is hella, it's infiltrated. Okay. I'm sorry to my local Fox channels, but I'm now boycotting you. And y'all were my favorite news team. But sadly, you got bought out by BlackRock. So if you are in the Ville with me, WDRB and WLKY, no, Wave 3, I think it was Wave 3. I think they got bought out. I know they got bought out by BlackRock. So, and the propaganda is you're just going to shove it down your throat like a dog scoop poop ice cream. Propaganda for the right side, Israeli supported intelligence government. That's why they banned me over here on TikTok. I'm waiting for it to come back up. Y'all, go look at the stock market. Go look. Have y'all ever looked at the tickers on Wall Street and who's making money and who's not and who owns your media? No, you probably have not. But y'all, it's nasty. It's all nasty. And it's all big money. Big money, big money, big money. You know, all the while, the people like us are going, well, I guess I'll pay my light bill this month. I guess I'll pay my car insurance this month. I guess I'll pay my medical bills this month. I guess I'll go to the grocery and come home with 2 bags instead of 10 this month. We've been singing the same story, y'all, for 7 years. So, ask yourself when you go to vote in November, has anything that was promised to you under this Trump administration happened? One thing that he did that I think he thought he was smart on was no tax on tips. I was like, oh, yay, woo! The everyday hardworking service person can now bring a little more home. Sure, it helped. But then everything else went up. So did it really help? Did it? I guess we'll find out. That's it, y'all. I love you. I've been on here 43 minutes. I am now going to go to my next task at hand. I guess I'll just turn off my TikTok for today. I got censored. I wonder if they can see me on the camera. I know. It's fine. All right, guys. That's it. I love you. Live the dream. Make sure you share these videos. Click like, subscribe. Just this little old white grandma in Kentucky, trying to figure out what the hell's going on with the world around me. All right, guys. I love puzzles. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. All right. Peace, peace, peace. AJ Contreno 7710. Peace, peace, peace. I know. I really do love Jesus, by the way, and I'm not a hater, but I have that energy where Jesus threw the table in the church. That's probably one of my favorite scriptures, where Jesus went in and was like if he threw the table, you know he has some emotional energy flowing through his body. He's like, I'm gonna throw this table because y'all cheating. Like, big time. I'm not saying you just cheat a little bit. Okay. Like, I'm gonna take his paperclip home from the office because I need a paperclip. Okay, no. Is it stealing? Well, of course. But I think the level of sin, Alexa off. I think the level of sin that we've reached now in politics is disgusting. It's It's nasty. So anyway, I love you. Peace back to you. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. All right, guys. Bye. All right, guys, just a little disclaimer here by myself, Holly King. I am not a medical doctor, a licensed clinical therapist, or a mental health therapist. All information and coaching provided is for educational and supportive purposes only and should not be considered medical or psychological advice. Please do consult your physician, licensed therapist, or another qualified healthcare provider before making any changes related to your health or even before beginning any coaching. So what that means, guys, is just consult with your doctor when you decide to check out our podcast. We'll see you later, all right? Bye.